All right. Are we live? I think we are, aren't we? We are live? Yes, we are. Get my microphone fixed up here. All right. So we are. I think we're live. All right, cool. This is so cool, isn't it? This is so cool. Just say hey guys, and what's up and where you guys are from. I'm gonna do a little live stream today for you guys instead of just doing the we'll do a bit of a live stream, hang out with you guys today, and I'm also going to just talk about what's coming next in the markets, what to look out for, silver and gold, all that sort of stuff, all those exciting things. As you guys have seen, that majority of the things that I've said in the videos the last couple of weeks have actually worked out. The stock market has been continuing down like I thought it would. I thought silver would take off. It hasn't taken off. It hasn't dropped, but it hasn't taken off. Gold has taken off. So I'm pretty in line with what the market is telling me right now. So I'm really excited about that. So guys, say hey in the chat box. Give me a little thumbs up. If there's a thumbs up there, give it a little thumbs up. Tell me, hey, where you're from, and we'll get started in a minute. I'll do a bit of a Q&A as well too. So it'll be a little fun session for you today, for you guys today. Just give me a sec, guys. Hi, John. Good hearing from you. Hey, Hugo. How you doing, mate? Rocky. Let me see if I can. So it is right now. I am in Sydney. For you guys that don't know, I am in Sydney. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Give me some love. Hit that thumbs up. Why? I don't know, because that's what everyone else says. Vancouver. Hey, Space Monkey. All right, Michael, ACT. So you're in New South Wales as well too, right, Michael? Grey stains. That's Sydney, right, Hugo? So you're down south of New South Wales, Canberra, basically. And Hugo, you're from basically Sydney, right? Grey stains from Sydney. Ah, fantastic! When I was a landscape gardener with my dad when I first started growing up. Hey, Robert. Para. Hey. Yeah. When I was growing up, let me see if I can open up this window here. I am starting to get hot in this bitch. I'm starting to get heated up. I generate so much heat. It was really interesting, guys. When I first left school, I left year 10, and I started working with my dad as a landscape gardener because I was dumb as all hell, that sort of thing. Anyway, and and we landscape gardener, we actually did a lot of work around grey stains, so it rings a bell. So, yeah, fantastic. All right, guys. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited about this. Guys, give me a yes in the chat box if you've been really enjoying my market updates lately and it's been really helping you understand some things in the markets when it comes to trading and analyzing the markets and so on and so forth. Give me a yes in the chat box if you've been really enjoying those market updates. All right, fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Good stuff. All right, fantastic. All right. Did you guys like my thumbnail? I mean, I have so much fun with this stuff, I tell you. Some people are like, what the hell are you on, John? It's like, especially some of those videos, it's like, oh yeah, just go crazy with them. So anyway, before we get started, guys, again, high on life. Exactly, Wolf. Exactly. And I have so many people say that to me. It's like, John, what do you want? And it's like, this is a vegan protein shake right now. That's what I'm on. I haven't had breakfast. It's basically, it's 20 to 10 in the morning here. And I haven't had breakfast yet this morning. I just haven't had it. I've had a green drink. So this morning I've had a green drink. I've had a green tea. Then I also had a mixed green tea, which was green tea, lemon tea, and also ginger tea. So that's what I've had this morning. Right now what I'm having is this is a vegan plant-based protein drink. And also a little bit of creatine in here as well too, because I'm going to train later on today. So I want the creatine for muscles. I've got a goal to shape my body the way I want it to shape it. So in the gym, so I have it there. But also in here is obviously a little bit of carbs as well too, a little bit of fats. And that's basically going to be my breakfast. And then also what's in here is basically, this is the Optimum Nutrition Amino Energy. And so I have this pretty much every single morning. And what it is it's basically the amino acids that your body, that your muscles and your body just thrives on, the amino acids for your body. So it's amino energy, but also it's got some natural green tea extract caffeine in it. So it's got a little bit of caffeine into it, not much, 50 or 100 mils caffeine. And I have that pretty much most mornings as well too. So, and as you can see, I haven't finished yet. I'm sipping on them both of them right now. BCAAs, yeah. Branched chain amino acids. So that's basically what I do, guys. I've been going to the gym now ever since I was diagnosed with cancer. And if you guys want me to talk about the cancer stuff later on, I can talk more about that later on. But yeah, ever since I was diagnosed with the cancer, that was almost it's almost basically, getting on 2008 I was diagnosed. So coming up Christmas this year is my 10-year anniversary of after my cancer. So I didn't do any treatment, no radiation, no nothing like that, no surgeries, and I did it completely all 100% natural. Again, I'm not telling people that can happen. But I'm just saying that's basically what I did. I took life in my own hands. Anyway, so what I want to talk to you guys about is, hey, Wolf of GDAX, you're the man. You're the man. Oh, thanks, Hugo. Thanks. Actually, you guys want me to talk about it now? All right, I'll talk about it now, and then I'll get back into the stuff I promised you guys from the title of this video. It was a lymphatic cancer. It was lymphatic cancer. It was stage 3 lymphatic cancer, and I had a huge lump on my neck. Huge lump on my neck. And I've got, if you guys type in John Howe cancer into YouTube, don't do it now. After the live stream, go do it. You'll be able to see videos. I recorded videos back 10 years ago on YouTube, so it's still there, of what I was thinking, what I was feeling, the lump on my neck as well too when I had the cancer, everything like that, and I'm massive ball on the neck. Oh, so Hugo, you've seen those videos, have you? Yeah. So and now let me ask you a question, Hugo, and be honest with me. Do you think I look younger now than I did back with those videos 10 years ago? Like with my face and all that sort of stuff. Because I really didn't. Yeah, and that's 10 years later. So anyway, so it was exactly, we're Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yeah, exactly. It was basically that's exactly what it was, and it was basically I had a huge lump on my neck. And if you guys type in John Howe cancer, you'll be able to see what I had there, and you'll be able. And I think I did one of those videos. I think I did one of those videos where I was recording the video, and it was when I had 7 screen. I was trading the futures market, the forex market, and then the options market, and I had 7 screens and all different things going on at once, so it was pretty cool. But that was I didn't realize, but actually trading that much was actually a thing that actually led to me actually having the cancer in the first place. So a lot of things I do these days right now just helps me. Oh yes, exactly right. Here you go. Yes, that stress could also bring that on. Exactly right. Yes. So that's the thing that can also do that as well too. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, and the doctor, and it was really interesting because I just came back from Las Vegas, had a crazy fun time in Las Vegas, and I came back, and I didn't notice it, but I did notice that my neck, there's this side of my neck here, there's that side of my neck there that I did notice that it was starting to, I was starting to get a bit of a lump there, and what I didn't realize was it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then my wife at the time, she said, I think you need to go and actually do this. I think you need to go and go get this checked out. So I'm like, I was one of these like, nah, it'll be right. It'll be right. It'll be right. You know, bad way to go. So I'm like, all right, I think. And then one day I looked in the mirror and I saw this massive lump here. I'm just like, something is seriously wrong inside of me. I have no idea. Now, by the way, guys, back then I did no gym, no exercise. I ate like shit. I had hardly any veggies. It was just crap. And also what ended up happening was, so I went to the doctor. They said, okay, you know, we need to go do a lot of scans. We need to do a lot of scans to see what it is. And then they did a biopsy. Now, because it was around here, it wasn't a surgery to take the cancer out, because this is actually the cancer here. But that was just the symptoms of what was happening all through my lymphatic system. And what ended up happening was, when I did the biopsy, they took a little bit of the tumor out, and then that's how they realized my neck's still scarred there. I think you guys can see it. So anyway, or was it this side? Maybe it was that side. Anyway, I forget which side it is now. Maybe one of those sides. 10 years ago. So what ended up happening was so they did the biopsy, and then 2 weeks later, they sent me in to see a specialist of 15 years, and he sat me down. My wife was next to me, my mother-in-law was next to me, and he said, okay, are you ready for this? I'm like, yep. He goes, you got cancer. And that was the first time I was like, okay then. And for some reason, it didn't affect me. I'm like, okay. I was pretty sure of that anyway. So, okay. And so that's what and he said, okay, and it's that bad. We need to get you in to start doing radiation and chemo right now. We cannot wait any longer. And I'm like, what if I don't do it? He goes, you're probably going to have 6 months to live. I said, what is the survival rate even if I do treatment and radiation? He's like, probably about 20%. Only because I've left it too long, apparently, and all that sort of stuff. Hey, Ezra. And I'm like, and I said, okay, all fairness, doctor, I've been researching a lot about the body and how it all works and all that sort of stuff. I said, I want to go back and actually, you know, do this naturally. And he goes to me, John, I've heard so many people do this. You don't know what you're doing. I'm doing this for 15 years. I just don't think it's right for you to do this. And he goes, you're doing the wrong thing right now. He goes, it's you can't muck around with this. You muck around with your life right now. And right next to me, my wife at the time, my mother all the time, were crying, just crying. And what ended up happening was, I just said, I have to do this. I believe I can do this. And yeah, so what ended up happening was with that was, I said to my wife that I said, give me 1 month. And if you don't see any improvement, I'll go in and start the treatment. I said, just give me 1 month. And she did. I didn't look back. 3 months later, the lump on my neck was completely almost gone. 3 months later was from doing that, completely almost gone. I looked younger. I looked healthier. I lost a lot of weight. I completely re-detoxed my body from everything like that. And I haven't looked back. I just haven't looked back. I remember actually going to see the doctor 12 months later, which was 2009 December, at Christmas. And I walked in there and he's just like, and it was so surprised that I actually did it. So now there was a lot of, now put it this way though, guys, that's the short story. The long story is that it was the most difficult thing I had to do at that time. The things that I had to do to get my body back to not stressing much, to sleeping properly. We're talking like, guys, things like, you guys wouldn't believe it, but my breakfast was a broccoli smoothie. That was it, with lemon and lime. That was my breakfast, a broccoli smoothie. For lunch was a salad. For dinner was another, a broccoli and another salad. I used to juice a lot as well too, like lots of juices, and I'm telling you right now, guys, and even on Saturday, and what I did is what I did. I don't know why, but Saturday and Sunday, I would have 7 liters of a green drink, wheatgrass, barley grass, all these amazing things in there. 7 liters on a Saturday, 7 liters on a Sunday, and then back Monday, I'd go back to eating food again. Now, not normal food. I was just basically eating like a rabbit. It was just green salads, broccoli, and all that sort of stuff. But in the mix of that, I was taking a lot of green drinks as well, and basically, yeah, it was the most difficult thing I had to do on the planet, because I loved my pizza, I loved my chocolate, I loved all that sort of stuff, and I just loved it all. But I had to do this. I'm like, my back's against the wall, and not be able to see my son grow up at that time just absolutely killed me. And so yeah, that's basically what I had to do, guys. I started to, and I believe whatever this believes you can achieve. And this might sound crazy, but I started going for jogs for about half an hour in the middle of the day in summer. It's like 40-degree heat. I don't know why, but I always thought if I go for a nice big run, 1 o'clock during the day, like 1 o'clock during the day, not only am I going to sweat a lot of toxins out of my body, i.e. detox my body, but it's going to help me lose weight, because it's going to help me rev up my metabolism even more by doing that. So that's what I did. I don't know whether it worked or not, but that's what I did. And so, yeah, I used to go for runs, and then every day I'd say, I'm a lean, mean fighting machine. I'm cancer-free. I'm seeing my son grow up, and I went, and I said this again and again and again and again. I'm cancer-free. I'm healthier than ever before. I'm a lean, mean. I'm vibrant. I'm strong. I'm seeing my son grow up. And I used to say this thing for like a half an hour, every day. And I conditioned my mind so much with this thing here to say, I'm going to, whatever's got on myself right now is not even in existence right now. And that's how much I condition this thing every day. And every day I go for a jog. And then at nighttime, what I would do is I'll go to the gym, and then I would go in the sauna. I didn't realize this, but by going in the sauna for 10 minutes and then jumping in the cold pool and then go in the sauna for 10 minutes, I didn't realize at the time, but that was the thing that was helping me remove inflammation from my body, which is also helping, in fact. So, and so I just, and that was thinking, and whatever you condition this thing to believe, it will happen. Now, the problem with the law of attraction now, guys, if you want more about my story and stuff like that, go to Amazon.com, type in the Flow of Success. The book's like $3, something like that. It's a book that I wrote that I think you guys are going to absolutely love as well too. So this is a lot of stuff about the law of attraction and things and so forth. But the problem with the law of attraction, the problem with things like that, guys, is whenever you start to visualize something and whenever you start to command something, it's not until a couple months later that it starts to take effect, but you've got to be consistent with it. It's like anything in life, right? You do the work now, you get rewarded later. And so that's basically what ended up happening there. And and I do believe majority of it was because one, I was physically detoxing my body. I was removed because I knew, so science, specialists and doctors have actually proven that diseases and tumors such as cancer cannot survive in a high oxygen alkaline environment. Now, guys, I'm not saying if you guys have cancer or if you guys know people who have cancer, go to the doctor, do what's best for you, okay? I'm just telling you what I did. I may have been lucky. Now, my nose is getting itchy by saying this. So that's basically what I want to say there, guys. With that, whatever you think here, and whatever you condition your brain to think, you will start to show up a few months later. It happens all the time, but you got to believe in it. You got to believe in it. It's like, and that's the hard thing about attracting things into our lives, because time needs to happen, right? The thought creates the thing. If you guys have read The Signs of Getting Rich, the thought creates the thing. The consistency and the action brings the thing to you. If you just think something and do nothing, that's not how you receive. Your thought creates that thing, and your actions slowly brings that thing into life. And again, if you guys go read my Flow of Success book, you'll see how that's worked on every area of my life. And it's something that I'm doing right now as well too. I know I'm bringing more success and more things in life. The problem with that is we stop that. We stop that. When we're trying to attract things, when we're trying to bring things up, we stop that by forcing it, by trying to rush it, and all that sort of stuff. And from that process, we actually push it away, and we don't realize that. That's when it comes to great book, Policy Waddles, exactly right. Yeah, yep. Signs of Getting Rich, guys, and when it comes to the law of attraction, guys, and you could do this for anything you really want, but you got to truly start to, and it doesn't happen straight away, but you got to do it enough where you start to believe it's on its way. It's on its way. It's on its way. And and that's what you got to say. Like, even something in my life right now that I'm trying to attract into my life that has nothing to do with money and success. It's more personal. But even right now, every time I get a doubt that it's not working, I'm like, it's on its way. It's on its way. It's on its way. It's on its way. And I have to keep saying that. It's on its way. And so this sort of stuff works, guys. The law of attraction does work. Just give me a sec, guys. Give me 1 sec. Think and Grow Rich is a great book as well too. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. So I'll give you guys a quick story. 1 second past. I got here before you typed it in, helmet. I'll give you guys a quick story, and then I'll talk more about the markets in a minute if you guys want to talk about this. But this is just a hangout today, guys. I was, again, if you go read the Flow of Success book, I know I've talked about it a few times, but that's going to help you guys out there. I'll give you guys a story about the law of attraction, how forcing it actually pushes it away from you. I wrote down that I wanted to move to the beach. Bada boom, bada bing. I wrote down that I was living at that time. I was living in a shared accommodation place after I got divorced and lost a lot of money from that, and I had to go to a shared accommodation place. So I started writing down and visualizing a house, and I write down and I read every day, twice a day, that I'm so grateful that I'm living in a 3-bedroom townhouse with polished floorboards that are close to the beach. That was my criteria. That's what I was looking for. A 3-bedroom townhouse, because I didn't want a big house. I just wanted something small for me and my kids. 3-bedroom townhouse, polished floorboards that's close to the beach. That was my criteria. And so I went to work and I started reading this thing every day, visualizing, reading it. And so every day I'd go to the beaches and I'd start to look for these places. And I did this for a month. Nothing happened. 2 months. Nothing happened. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is just killing me. 3 months later, nothing. I'm thinking, and I had a date in this thing as well too. It's like, I'm so grateful by this date, I'm going to have this thing, and and I was like, bam, 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 bam. Now I was going out there and I was doing it. I was looking for this house, And when it got to the date and I didn't achieve it, I'm like, maybe I wasn't meant to have this. I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, I said, you know what? I pulled back. I said, okay. I said, you know what, universe, just send it to me, okay? Just send it to me. Um, um, so just send it to me. You know what I mean? And so what ended up happening, I just blocked someone on the chat box. That's what I was doing. So anyhow, so I said, just send it to me. So anyway, this is a true story. 2 weeks later, after doing that, 2 to 3 weeks later after doing that, I got a phone call from one of the brokers down near the beach. Down near the beach, and I got a phone call that says, John, this is not on the market yet. It's about to go on the market, but I think you will like this. You're saying you're looking for a place, blah blah blah, and I think you're gonna like this. I'm not joking, guys. I went down to the beach, and I walked in there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is it. Now, guys, I actually didn't realize that was it. By the way, I just walked in and I felt home. I'm like, this is the thing, and everything went smoothly. Moving in, approval, all that sort of stuff, which went really, really, really smoothly. So that, but basically, what ended up happening was I ended up moving into the place, and then what I ended up doing is when I started unwrapping things, and I came across that sheet that I did 3 months earlier. Or that actually it was a month earlier that I stopped doing it, but I forgot about it. And I'm like, this is exactly what I wrote down 4 months ago. And that's the hard thing about the law of attraction sometimes. And the people that receive, the people that believe. Anyway, so one thing I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to, let's actually have a look now. I want to talk to you guys about the stock market now, and also silver and gold, just quickly, because I know I did promise you guys that. So let me just quickly talk about that. I'm not sure. Is there anything I can do on here? What's this button do? Will it end live stream? No, I don't want to end live stream. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I'll just one thing I want you guys to think. No. I've moved from there since. John, you were bang on about the sell-off. Ezra, thank you. Well, if you guys can see what I'm saying now, guys, give me a yes in the chat box if you watched my videos for the last few weeks when I said the Dow Jones is still weak compared to the S&P. That's telling us something, and I kept saying that, right, for a few weeks before the sell-off. Give me a yes in the chat box if you saw those videos of me saying that the Dow Jones is weak, but it's weaker than the S&P. This is telling me something. This is telling me something. This is telling me something. And then that was the key. And then I went back to 2015 when it happened as well too. That was the key to telling me this sell-off was going to happen. And people are like, I'm going to buy the market. And it's like, no. What? Look at the markets. Guys, I've spent almost 15 years studying this shit. I'm like, and I believe, yes, Hugo, I believe the Dow is the leader. So many people out there say the NASDAQ's the leader. And I'm like, no. To me, now, guys, give me let's see this. Give me an A in the chat box. If you can now see how the Dow is generally the leader of what's likely to happen for all the other indices. Because the Dow was telling us it was the weaker one out of the whole lot. And then everything else followed along with it. Right? The Dow was the thing there. And that's why I'm just like, that's why I'm so confident doing use YouTube videos. Like, no, it's gonna go down. No. We're like, the NASDAQ's running up high and the Russell this and the Russell that. Yeah. So anyway, apart from that, that's what's happened now. And obviously the way the markets work is you want to analyze the market as it continues on, right? As it continues on and as the markets move forward and all that sort of stuff, you want to be able to do that. All right. So, but what you want to be able to do is again, analyze the market as it's creating. And that's the thing about us trading the markets and forming the view based on what the charts are saying. You always flow along with the story because each bar creates now a different part of the story or what the chart's telling you. So the one thing that I want to share with you guys is that just remember, guys, give me a yes in the chat box if you were around late last year when I was doing those Bitcoin bubble videos. I think one at 14,000 and the next one was 17,000. Then it went up to 20 and then it crashed 60%. If you guys saw those Bitcoin crash videos that I did just last year. Yeah, because a bubble is a bubble is a bubble. And it's not something, I'm not saying I was right and whatever. No, I didn't know when the bubble's going to end. I never do. But when it starts to end, you can see it on the chart. And as you saw with Bitcoin, right? What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin had a bit of a flush down first, then went sideways, and then continued down, right? It crashed about 10 or 20%, then retraced a little bit, and then continued down for about a 60% crash. The point I'm trying to say here, guys, is on that. Oh. So the thing is I want you guys to realize that ever since Donald Trump came in, and if you look at what the stock market, the Dow Jones right now, especially even the NASDAQ, we are in a big, massive bubble on the long-term time frame chart. So this short-term chart, the weekly chart, even the daily action, what's happening right now, is forming a topping pattern because we've just gone straight up ever since Donald Trump was elected. That is a bubble. And so when the bubble starts to pop, which is happening right now, it's popping because we're starting. And having you guys realize, guys, give me a yes in the chat box if you guys saw that video that said powerful pattern shows that the bubble's about to explode or something like that, where I showed the strength in moves, strong buyers, weak sellers, now strong sellers, weak buyers. Give me a yes in the chat box if you saw that video, right? That's, again, these are signs of the market. The market is changing tune. The market is changing its tune in what's happening right now. And when we start to read these signs and start to identify these signs in the markets, not the commitment of traders, no, it's more just reading the market itself. And it wasn't, and it was basically this strength in moves. If I just go have a look at, my, I'll tell you guys what it, I just saw my live thing, my thumbnail. Don't worry. The video was, that video really convinced me. Cool. The video was powerful pattern shows the bubble is about to explode. I did it 1 week ago, right? And it wasn't about higher highs and higher lows. It was about reading the strength in moves, reading the psychology of the markets. That was the thing that changes everything. That was the thing that says, okay, we're now forming topping pattern right now. That was the thing that actually showed me that that's what we're doing right now. We're forming that big, massive topping pattern. Big, massive. Big, massive. Wait. Big. So, now nobody bought. Man. So the purpose of me saying that, guys, all right, if we just look at this with the emotional move there, right now, we're in a big, massive bubble ever since Donald Trump. That's the reason why you can see it on the chart. When something goes vertical like that, it's going to retrace at least 60 to 70 or 80% of where that bubble started. Where did the bubble start? The bubble started at 18,000 on the Dow. That's where the bubble started, right? So therefore, we're likely to trace at least 60 to 80%, if not 100% of that move. That's why I said That's why I keep saying 18,000 is my target. Guys, give me an A in the chat box if you guys have seen my videos where I say 18,000 is my target this year. Because that's where the bubble started, and I believe we're likely to get down there. I don't believe it's going to happen straight away. I don't believe it's going to happen straight away. Well, 6,000 would be 6,000 superior for 7. 6,000 would be just a guess, an estimate. It'll just be a airy-fairy, thing. But what I'm saying, 18,000, it's a calculated high probability of that happening superior for 7. The reason why I just say 18,000, then you continue on from that, is because every bubble in history, where it starts, it's likely to retrace. So superior for 7, if you go look at the Bitcoin chart, where the Bitcoin bubble really started to take off, that literally retraced 90% of it plus, maybe even close to 100% of that. So that's the reason why I say 18,000, at least on the short term. Maybe we will continue down even more than that. Does it make sense, superior for 7? So if I say 6,000, it's just me making that number up. If I say 18,000, it's because of calculated probability of what's likely to happen in the markets. So please remember that, okay? Please remember that. That's the reason why. And once you start to understand the bubble action in the markets long term, and then you go to the short term, you see what's happening with the Dow Jones. That's why, guys, this is very scary where we are right now. This is not likely to bounce and continue up to new highs. Because why? Because we're at the top of a bubble. How do we know it's a top? Because it's forming a rounding big top right now. The Dow Jones is showing us strong sellers, weak buyers, and now we're dropping down again. Well, yeah, it might be 19,000, Dave. Yeah, I just saw that Dave said 19,000 Dow is my point of view. Yeah, it might be 9,000, right? That's basically a 80 to 90% correction. It might be around that. But around that 18 to 19,000, there's a pretty massive support there. So that's what I believe it could get down to. And we don't know, right? We may get a 1987 style crash. It's very, very similar to what's happening right now. So we may get that big drop down. By the way, guys, I'm loving this drop right now because I still have my put options, and my put options are just going nuts right now in profit. So, and plus I've got a few different put options on other stocks as well too. Now those stocks have done nothing. I'm like, what is going on? But my put options in my SPY are doing really well right now. So I'm happy with that. Oh, of course, yeah, Hugo, yes. All right, so that's basically what I want to say about the stock market, guys, there. And a quick nutshell, and I'll go through answering some questions for you guys. A quick nutshell on what I say on silver and gold. Silver right now is obviously 85 to 1 when it comes to silver and gold. That's likely to catch up. And we're likely to get a pretty massive springboard, massive action. Once silver starts to break out, it's going to go berserk because there's a thing in the market called price and time. All right, there's a thing in the market called price and time. And when the market does so much time, i.e. just going sideways, price needs to catch up. So therefore, boom. And therefore you're likely an explosion in price action. An absolute explosion in price action. So if you look at the silver market and you look at the gold stocks, GDX and XAU, and even the silver price, guess what? They've been going sideways for over 12 months now. That's a lot of time resting phase. Now, when there's too much time, guess what needs to catch up? Because price and time are supposed to be equal. If there's a lot of price in a short period of time, i.e. bubble, time needs to catch up, i.e. sideways or a correction. If there's too much time when the market just goes sideways for an extended period of time, price needs to catch up. Therefore, we have an explosion in price action. Guys, give me a yes in the chat box if that makes sense. So that's where you can see what's happening with a bubble, right? Too much price in a short period of time needs to catch up. But if there's too much time, market on sideways, Therefore, we're likely to see an explosion. So therefore, silver's likely to break out. And when silver does start to break out, we don't know when that's going to happen. When it does break out, we're likely to see an explosion, an absolute explosion in price action. Now, again, we don't know when that happens, and we don't know if we could have a knee-jerk reaction first down, and we could have a 10% drop down in silver. Then maybe it's going to retrace up. For me personally, I have long-term. I did have some call options on silver. I got out of those, but I do have long-term call options on gold right now. Gold out of all of them is showing the most bullish sign. It's creating like that big, massive head and shoulder formation, ascending triangle pattern as well too. High highs, high lows, pushing through. So that's basically what I'm looking at there, and that's basically what I'm looking at with when it comes to that. So gold is very, very strong, but when silver breaks out, it's gonna be crazy, absolutely crazy, and you can see it all over the chart right now, and you can see right now if you go look at a big monthly chart on silver, what happened? It created its very first higher high on the monthly chart, then it came down where it is right now, and that's likely to make a significant higher low. Again, monthly chart that is. That may take another few months, maybe even 6 months for that to form, but when it does break out, silver and gold are going to go berserk, absolutely berserk. So, and this time is different. This time is different. When the market crashes, silver and gold are likely to explode. Why? Back in 2008, guys, if you think about this naturally, some people say, oh, well, silver and gold's going to crash when the market crashed. Because back in 2008, when the market crashed, so did silver and gold. But most people don't think about the logic. Silver and gold went up like 80% before 2008 in 1 year. That's a bubble. Guess what happened? They retraced, so did the stock market. So, but silver and gold right now are not in a bubble. So therefore, they're not likely to retrace. So guys, give me an A in the chat box if that makes sense there, what I'm saying there about how this time is different. Bitcoin and silver bubbled at that time, so the stock market, and then they both retraced. This time is different. When the market goes down, silver and gold are going to explode because you can see the combination between it. It's just all over the charts. It's just all over the charts, and you can see that. You say, yes, this is different. And people like Harry Dent that says that silver and gold is likely to continue going down because that's what happened in 2008. Well, he's not studying because here's the facts, guys. For something to crash, it needs the bubble first. For something to crash, it needs the bubble first. And I learned this back. I learned this back. I learned this back, a long time ago. A few years ago when I was talking to someone who owns places in America, and he actually said, John, even in the 2008 financial crash, my places didn't go down that much. And he said, but they didn't go up that much either. And that triggered that makes sense for the places that went down a lot. Guess what? They also went up a lot. So, and guys, one thing I want you guys to realize as well too, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk on the markets being manipulated and being rigged, and you can't trade this and you can't trade that. The thing is this, guys, is that when you're trading the markets, you have to flow along with what the chart's telling you. The chart's always telling you a story. The chart is always telling you a story. You can trade the market. You can analyze the market. It's telling you a story all the time. You just got to be flexible enough to bend with that story, to go with the story, flow with the story instead of trying to be right. So let me answer some questions here. I know I'm getting some questions here. What do I think about AG? AG. Well, AG right now is continuing to make lower highs all the way down on that weekly chart. So sellers are still in control. We still could get another big drop down. If we start to rally back up to make a higher high on that weekly chart, then we've just formed a bottom in that there. So right now, sells are still majorly in control of AG. I don't have the chart in front of me, but sells are still majorly in control, and so therefore we're likely to we're likely to continue down. The AG technicals won't matter. The AG technicals always matter, Craig, because remember the technicals, the weekly chart is what the big guys are thinking, right? And that's where like so many people got so cranky. It's like, oh, the silver and gold was manipulated. Silver's gold manipulated. It went from high and then it crashed and crashed and crashed, and they kept selling it off and selling it off and selling it off, and it was manipulated. I'm like, forget that bullshit manipulation. Just like, hey, it was making lower highs on the weekly chart. I.e., the sells will keep knocking it down. Even if it is manipulated, people ain't saying that because they watch the market go down. The chart was telling you that the big guys are now selling this thing, not buying it up. Oh. I hope that makes sense anyway. Everything comes out of the chart. There are times when there's not really much when the market's going sideways and there's not really much going on there, and there's no one in control, right? So the buyers and sellers are confused when it comes down to that. I'm just brought up my chart here right now. AG. All right, so let's have a look here. Weekly chart. Yeah, weekly charts continue to make lower highs. If we start to break above, and remember, guys, you never want to try and capture the bottom. But by looking at this chart now, I would say that as soon as we start to break above $7.50 on that weekly chart, then that's going to be a complete change in trend, and that's where it's probably going to start to. And if we form a higher high off that, as well, higher low off that, then that's where we're going to probably start the change. But right now, sells are in control, even though the buyers have been bringing this back up just recently. The overall long term is down, and so you don't want to fight that. Don't try and pick a falling knife. You might be right once out of 10, but apart from that, but yeah. So and again, guys, you never want to get into a stock. AG, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. AG, First Majestic. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. On my other charts. And guys, put it this way: you never want to get into a stock because you think something's going to have an effect on it. All right, you never want to get into a stock or get into a trade because you think something's going to have an effect on it. That's thinking, that's gambling. You never want to do that. I've done that plenty of times and it hardly ever works. It really, really doesn't. It's so oh man, my nose is itchy. It's so, yeah. It's such a gamble, and you don't want to do that. You want to make good decisions there. So yeah, that's what I basically say with that. Let me see if I have any more questions here. This is awesome, guys. He who picks bottoms gets smelly fingers. Dave. Yeah. Rebound or another red week? You talk about the markets, the stock market? Yeah, I actually think we're going to have another red week. So, yeah. Now, again, I'm already in my put options. I was in my put options a week ago. So, I'm really enjoying this drop down because it's just all over the markets. But as I said before, I think the markets will have a drop, another 5% or so drop on the downside. And then I think the market may hold there for a little bit. So we're talking 22,500, somewhere around about there. So that's where I think on the Dow Jones it'll hold. And then I think that's when the Dow Jones gets to that level. So I think we're gonna have another 5 or so % drop this week, and then I think the market will hold around that level. Yeah, that's what I think here. It may rebound, but right now that's not likely to happen because we are completely retracing again. So another red week would likely happen. But we'll see about that. It's gonna be an exciting week. How do you choose your strike price? What I do, so what I do that when I'm doing my strike prices, I have my normal momentum trading that I do. So it's called momentum trading. And then I do that, and I use the same option every time, which I'm trading just first out of the money every time. Trades like the SPY. The way that I choose my options is I use the delta of 0.3 because that's right on that curve there on the delta bell curve. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, it doesn't matter. But if you do know what I'm talking about, that 0.3 on that delta is the sweet spot. So if so it seems to be the sweet spot. So that 0.3 is where I actually went through, and it was actually interesting. I got the SPY calls back. I got it up when it was back up at say 270, 275, so around there. And I bought the 260 calls, 260 put options. Sorry, not call options, put options. 260 put options. And so they're down quite nicely in the last couple of days. Windows that actually may happen. According to analysts and the 1987 chart, there will be a third drop on Monday next week, then a small rebound about the M5 drops. Then I think a crash could happen. Yeah, maybe. We may not get a crash. $1987 is not going to happen again. Maybe a 2018, but not. Well, exactly right there, Justin. Yeah, it's going to be 2018. But this time, remember the Dodd-Frank rule as well too, which pulled the liquidity out of the markets. When all the machines start to sell at once, that's going to cause a lot of havoc. So there's not going to be a lot of liquidity this time on the downside. Implications of the picture. I wouldn't look Max, implications of the Patreon. I wouldn't look too much into that. Really, don't look too much into that because that's a fundamental that it's just you're going to guess, hope, and think, and all these. It's a big gray area, right? It's like, oh well, no one really knows. No one really knows. The most simplest, most powerful thing you can do is trade what you can control, which is the chart, and the chart tells you everything. It really does come down to that. A lot of people think I'm nuts when I'm saying that, but it does come down to that. Craig, it already has remained irrational for many years, and that's what a lot of people, Craig. A lot of people think right now, and I saw in my chat box last week before this sell-off happened that people said, "No, it's going to rebound. 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 The market's going to go up. The plunge protection team is going to come in, and all this sort of stuff. And it's going to rebound. It's going to rebound. It's going to rebound." Put it this way, guys. I believe the chart itself is always telling us a bigger picture than what meets the eye. Like, for example, Deutsche Bank. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to tell me that something's going wrong with that. Just look at the chart. Now, I actually went to buy some put options in Deutsche Bank. I actually left an order in there for a few days. good to cancel order, and I took it off. The very next day, I would have got filled, and then I would have been up 100% today if I just left that order there. That was a few weeks ago. Like, damn, I wanted to buy some put options in that thing. Now buy the dip. I definitely would be buying the dip. You'd be going against that big major trend. So, yeah, again, Deutsche Bank is obviously in big trouble. You can see it all over the chart. That's what I'm saying, guys. Fundamentals comes out in the charts first. Fundamentals come out in the charts first. You can see by what's happening, by reading the bigger picture, what's really going on there. And going with that bigger picture can really, really help you understand what's really happening. I hope that makes sense. What does this do? Oh. Okay, can I? No, cool. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. The trend is your friend. It really, really is. Again, the charts will tell you what's going on. The charts will tell you what's going on. And if you guys can really focus on things that I've been teaching you guys, especially this last week, about reading the strength in moves, especially the peaks and troughs, there's so much to gain from the chart itself that most people don't realize that. And you guys have been seeing it firsthand for the last few weeks. Exactly how I picked out this downtrend and this downturn. Exactly what I've been looking at. I've been telling you everything. Tesla short when? Well, you should just short Tesla because you think it's a good idea. You always need to have a plan. That's the biggest problem that most people have is they get into something because they think it's a good idea. Yeah, I was short Tesla for a while there, but I got out. So Tesla right now is actually breaking out of a big long-term wedge. So it looks like we're going to start that descent even more on that. You need to have a plan. And if you want some sort of consistency in the markets, guys, some sort of consistency, have your pattern. Don't just get in something because you think it's it. Have a pattern on the chart or a trading setup that you like, and only trade that trading setup. That's how you can at least have some sort of consistency or probability in the market. So 18,000 Dow. Yeah, that's definitely really possible. Once again, especially when you start looking at that. That chart, but yeah, I can also see around that 19,000. Well, it really was around that. Yeah, 8,500 was really when the bubble started. So that's where I believe we're likely to retrace. And so it could get really, really scary, really, really heavy over the next couple of weeks. But once again, that long-term chart as well too. I'm just looking at my other charts. If you guys just looking at my other charts here as well. Yeah, and that long-term chart, that long-term monthly chart, again, around that 18,000 still is the mark for me that I believe like 18, 19,000. Tesla can short here. Craig, as I said before about Tesla, you don't want to just get into Tesla because you think it's a good idea. You want to get into Tesla because it meets your plan. It meets a plan. You don't just get in because, I think it's going to drop. Let's get into it. No. Again, you want some consistency. You need to have a plan, and you need to have a plan, the plan that tells you when to get in and when to get out. You say you don't want to just jump in Tesla now because you think it's going to go down. And I'm not going to tell you that as well too, because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or anything like that. No, I have a plan, and when I make that plan, when I trade that plan every single time. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so am mine. My MAs are crossing over. Yeah, that's been a big thing for me as well too. Is that both I have my 20 and my 52 MA, and yeah, and the 20's been below the 52 for a while there. So for Tesla, a simple calculations. Imagine 100 million in sales, 40,000 per cow, 10,000 net, P ratio 15, way above Ford. That gives a valuation of 60 billion, particular to same as now with a rosy scenario. Do you know what the problem with that, guys? The problem with trying to calculate things and the problem with when you're trading the markets, it doesn't matter what the fundamentals say. It just doesn't matter what the fundamentals say about a company or how high the PE ratio is of a company. Because the fact of the matter is we all know that Tesla, it doesn't make any money, but it just kept going up there for a while. Why? We don't know. How could you trade something like that? And it's all about looking at the chart, and it's all about the sentiment. Exactly right. Looking at the chart, and when the chart continues to make those high highs and high lows, and I know this sounds goddamn simple. I know this sounds so simple, but most people are always looking for the most complicated thing out there. That's the reason why you just focus on what the charts are telling you. Because the fundamentals could be, this is so overbought right now and it just keeps going up. Oh my goodness, this company is gonna go broke. They don't make any money. Let's short it. It's like, no. Oh my goodness, Donald Trump's gonna get elected. The market's gonna crash. Let's short it. Oh my goodness, this is gonna happen. It's like all these things, we think all these things out there are gonna crash the market. And that's our thought, that's our processes there. And it's a big think tank. That's all it is, big gray area gambling think tank. A think tank. But when it comes down to it, they just need to focus on the charts. Just focus on the charts, focus on the charts, focus on the charts. And the chart is telling you the story. And again, I know it sounds so simple, but you can't focus on the fundamentals because the fundamentals don't really give you much. The fundamentals is more long-term. But the fundamentals is what they're showing you right now as well too. If you want to trade the market, you can't trade the market based on a fundamental. Now, fundamentals and technicals come together, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And again, guys, I want you guys to realize this. All right, I want you guys to realize this. And I learned this from my millionaire mentor. He makes $3 to $5 million a year. The weekly chart on any market is the footprint to what the big guys are doing. The weekly chart on any market is the footprint of what the big guys are thinking and doing. Just follow the footprints. And if they keep making lower highs, like people said way back when silver started to sell off, oh my goodness, it's manipulated. I can't believe they've been manipulating gold and silver for so long. Okay, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And if we can just remove all that thought of trying to be right in the market and just following with the charts, thanks, Andres, I think it is. Now, guys, can you guys give me a yes in the chat box if you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you guys here, right? It's almost 15 years of experience here. I've done every big, massive mistake under the books, right? Please try to listen to me. It does come down to that simple analysis. And anything we can try to get into the markets or trade the markets with, or try to understand the markets with all these other fundamentals and all these news announcements, stuff like that, it's just a whole bunch of hogwash. because it may affect it for the day. But what's the big picture saying? What is the big picture saying? And that's what it comes down to. Remember, the footprint is the big guys. The footprint is the big guy. The weekly chart is the footprint of the big guys. What are they doing with gold right now? They're buying the hell out of that thing. Long term, right? Short term, you can have ups and downs and pullbacks and drops and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's what happens on the short term. Daily chart. Weekly chart, boom. Weekly chart tells me they're going to keep buying the hell out of this thing and they're going to break out and they're going to go up. Derek, what's going on, John? First time I caught you live. Love your work, brother. When I can get a minute, I'm definitely doing your classes, but I work construction in the day and food delivery at night. Okay, cool, Derek. No problem. So, guys, I have made a lot of mistakes in the markets, and I still make some mistakes from time to time. But I also get coaching of some of the most brilliant people in this world, and when it comes down to private trading, we're talking about private trading here. We're not talking about Warren Buffett investing. We're not talking about throwing $1 billion or something and it doesn't matter and just letting it go for 10 years. No, I'm not talking about that. Forget, because that's a different thing. What am I talking about? We're trading, making money, right? That's what we're talking about. How do you do that? Follow the charts, follow the footprints. Yeah, Windows, yeah. Oh, I did a video on that. Exactly right, Windows, exactly right. What do I think of URA? I actually started trading URA. I actually was trading URA there for a while. Well, URA looks ugly. URA looks like it's about to get pummeled. We're probably going to break new lows on URA. We're almost at its all-time lows. But I did trade it back late last year, during the November and December period. We actually started making higher highs and higher lows. I did trade it back there as well too. So that was actually quite a nice little period there of trading, which again was quite nice. No problem, Max. No problem. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me today. I appreciate you guys turning up. I didn't know whether what was going to happen here and stuff like that. So this is actually cool. This is the first time I'm actually doing it. I'm doing a live chat on my computer. So there we go, guys. Hope you guys don't go. I'm going to go and check. I'm going to go and spend a bit of time with my family. They're going to hit the gym and all that sort of stuff as well too. So, and get ready for another good week. So anyway, guys, have an amazing day, guys. I hope this session really, really, really helped you out, and get ready for an exciting few weeks, or an exciting April, should I say. So, all right, guys, talk to you guys later, and keep on keeping on. And remember, never trade based on what you think, always trade based on what you see the market is telling you.